Habits are most easily built whenever you start small. This applies to you, but also learning to start small is easiest when you are small. If you've never heard of the Tiny Habits system, it was created by Dr. BJ Fogg, and it's a great system for you to use to create habits in your own life and for your kids to use. Dr. Fogg has been studying how you can create and change behaviors for over 20 years, and how you can apply all of his research to yourself and to your parenting. Let's talk about it. Please don't forget to subscribe for more videos on money, minimalism, our travel journey around the world. We publish a new video every week. Have you heard that it takes 21 days to build a habit? Or have you heard the study that shows it takes 66 days to build a habit? Did you realize that it depends on the habit and neither one of those things are true for every habit? The fact is, each time you build a habit, the time it takes to build that habit depends on 3 different things. Number 1, the person forming the habit. Number 2, the habit itself. And number 3, the context in which the habit is being built. If you hate doing something, it'll probably take you a lot longer to build that habit. If you love doing something, you'll probably be able to build the habit really quickly. If the habit is within your wheelhouse, it'll probably be built pretty quickly. If it's not, it won't be as quick. You get the point. The best part is that it doesn't matter how long it takes you or your kids to build habits. The point is that you are creating new positive habits for you and for your kid. And the power is in starting small. It's actually in starting tiny, the tiny habits method. I've been following Dr. BJ Fogg since 2010, and I've created a lot of habits in my life based on his systems. Many of those tiny habits have compounded into larger habits, and many of them are still tiny as they should be. Habits like running, writing, lifting weights, things like that can be built really small and turn really large. Other habits like gratitude, affirmations, or even flossing are tiny habits that are probably going to stay tiny. But if you want to create habits and teach your kids how to create habits this way, you have to learn the method, and it's pretty easy to understand. This is the Fogg behavior model that Dr. Fogg created. B equals MAP, or MAP. Behavior happens when motivation, ability, and prompt converge at the same moment. The recipe looks like this. After I blank, I will blank, and then celebrate. That's the recipe for a tiny habit, and he actually even has recipe cards that you can get to use with your kids. And he also talks about the ABCs of behavior design, and here's what that looks like. Anchor moment, an existing habit that reminds you to do the new behavior. After I brush my teeth, I will blank. New tiny behavior, a tiny version of the habit you want to create. I will do 2 push-ups or floss 1 tooth. And instant celebration, a small celebration to create a positive feeling internally. This must occur immediately, like saying yes or awesome. Dr. Fogg calls this feeling shine. And that last step may seem kind of silly, to do something small and be like, yes, awesome.
Yes, awesome.
But it actually is important, and it actually is part of the behavior design model, because you are doing stuff internally that you may not even realize whenever you have those small celebrations. So for you to actually apply this, let's talk about the 7 steps in behavior design. Step 1, clarify the aspiration. First, you must figure out what you're trying to do. This is the habit you are building. Step 2, explore behavior options. Figure out what you already do and what you are likely to stick with. Step 3, match with specific behaviors. Now figure out which current behavior you can attach the new habit to. Step 4, start tiny. You'll want to start extremely small, something that only takes seconds. Step 5, find a good prompt. Find a part of your existing routine that prompts the new habit. Step 6, celebrate successes. This is huge. Again, it may sound silly at first, but you must celebrate in a small way to train your mind. This ensures the habit sticks. It's a sort of mind hack. But the celebration must be immediate or your brain won't connect it to the new habit. Dr. Fogg explains how rewarding yourself with a massage after a week of working out consistently is great, but that's an incentive. Your brain can't connect the two since they're so far apart. Immediate celebration is directly connected to your new habit. And step 7, troubleshoot, iterate, and expand. Think of building a new habit like budgeting. It doesn't always work right away. If something isn't working out, troubleshoot the habit to see why you're forgetting to do it, or why it's hard for you to get started. The habit could be too large, or you could be trying to prompt it at the wrong time. To iterate, simply keep performing the new habit. Once the tiny habit is established, if it makes sense with the given habit, it's time to expand. When you're teaching your kids to build a new habit, or when you're building your own habit, it's important to identify with the habit. This is just as important as starting small. So let's talk about identity-based habits. Identity-based habits are whenever you try to become the person that identifies with this new habit. So this is where you're going to bring, I'm the kind of person who blanks into the scenario. Once you identify with the habit, you'll train your brain to become the person you want to be. Instead of trying to exercise, become the person who exercises regularly. Whether it's true or not now, you need to become the person who never misses a workout, or the person who never misses 2 days in a row. If you always think of yourself as becoming fit, or losing weight, or you're in a process of something, then you're never going to truly become that habit. So even if it's not true for you right now, you have to try to become this person now, and identify as this person now. Here are some examples. Instead of, I want to write a book, say, I'm the kind of person who writes daily. Instead of, I want to be in shape, say, I'm the kind of person who exercises daily. Instead of, I want to run faster, say, I'm the kind of person who runs 5 days a week. It's not about brainwashing yourself into thinking you're someone you're not. It's about becoming the person that you want to be. This is similar to affirmations, which I am a fan of sometimes and I'm not a fan of sometimes. But you're becoming someone and you're identifying as someone or something, even if you're not there yet. Teaching tiny habits to kids. Even though children are expected to build habits all the way through school and through college, we're never really taught how to build habits. If kids can learn how to build habits and build these good positive habits, it's a great thing for them to take into adulthood. So make it fun for your kids, teach them all of the basics of creating habits, and start creating habits with them. My kids love working out, and it's easy for them to build their fitness because they're so young. So I'd recommend starting with something like the push-up habit. It's an easy one. Attach it to something that they're already doing on a daily basis, hopefully, like brushing their teeth. And if they struggle to remember to brush their teeth daily, odds are that you don't struggle with that, so brush your teeth with them and create a new habit. So every time you brush your teeth, you will do 1 push-up or 2 push-ups. And then you increase that daily, weekly, whatever works for you. In a few months, you could have a routine of brushing your teeth with your kids and then doing 20 push-ups with your kids. And you're teaching your kids to build positive habits the whole time. You can also tie this into cleaning up. When mom or dad give the 15-minute warning for dinner time, I will put away my toys. So don't try to create 10 habits every day. Start with 1 and increase gradually. Increase gradually in that habit and in the amount of habits you're trying to create. If you implement this in a fun way, your kids will see it like a game, and this is something they can carry into their adult life, and creating new habits will be a breeze. If you want to learn more about this Tiny Habits method, I strongly suggest looking into Dr. Fogg's book, Tiny Habits. I'll put a link in the description below for that. Please subscribe for more videos on money, minimalism, our travel journey around the world, creating habits, all kinds of family practices like this. If you're interested in raising intentional children, which I'm sure you are since you're interested in creating positive habits, check out my book, Intentional Children. I'll put a link to that below. That is all for today. I will see you next week.